Greetings and welcome to episode 33 of Touchdown Online. Felix and Keith take you through your sports, and don't forget you can always find us on social media, Twitter and Facebook, Touchdown Online, but we do post our audios on Telegram, that app as well as YouTube. You can subscribe to the channel. But Keith, starting off with the biggest game of the English Premier League weekend, Liverpool 2, Spurs 1.
Yes, a very good performance by Liverpool. I thought they were the better team. They really came to kill, and Spurs had to work very hard to cope with them. And it didn't help them that even the replacement keeper, the first goal was sort of his error, but still Spurs were not, for me, they were just not at the races in that game.
Okay.
Once again, they didn't play very well. Just like it happened against Man United, and for me they were punished, just like Watford punished them, because for me they took too long to get to grips with what Liverpool were trying to do, and by the time they did, the game was beyond them.
Okay, and Pochettino had won them of this after that Watford defeat.
Yes, he had.
That they weren't really as good as the results were showing, because until they lost to Watford, they had 3 wins on the bounce,
yes,
including that 3-0 win at Old Trafford. And they say that not every time you win, it means that you're actually good.
That you deserve to win.
And it actually did come up to show. And then, of course, the other game, Crystal Palace beating Huddersfield 1-0. Wilfred Zaha with that goal.
Yeah, very good goal. As usual, he's proving that talisman. Without him, I don't know where Crystal Palace would be. And that was a wonder goal, because he beat enough people and then put it in the top corner when he was surrounded by like 3 men. So
His foot was improved ever since he left Man U and opted to play for Ivory Coast.
yeah, in fact, the moment the season he decided he was no longer English, since then he has become a superstar.
Because the current Zaha would be regular in Gareth
Because
Southgate's
Zaha was killing people, no one in England was appreciating. They kept abusing him daily. So he said, fine, you don't appreciate him, you go and play for Ivory Coast. And ever since then, England have been regretting why they had stopped calling
Ever
him.
since he made that decision, it's like a weight was lifted off of his chest, basically.
Yes, and
He never looked like a good fit for the England side. For some way, he doesn't.
But he was better than me. What I hated was he was better than the players they had, but he kept getting the most stick. I really found it annoying that he would perform better than people like Welbeck, people like Rashford, and then he gets on pitch and people are like, no, his decision making is poor. I'm like, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, and it's really working for him, and now he goes back to United. He probably goes back as a starter, not the way he went in. Was it 2011 around there?
Yes.
When he went to
Definitely.
join United, and Manchester City 3-0 against Fulham.
Very professional win. Fulham, as usual, played the normal open football, but they could not live with Man City doing some counter pressing of their own, and most of the goals actually came from that type of pressing. Every time these guys lost the second ball, Man City were upon them and pounced 3 times. So it was a very solid performance from Man City, although the injury to Aguero kind of is worrying, since Aguero has really hit the ground running this season and has been scoring almost all their goals. But yes, it was a good win, keeps them.
Could it be that
capturing
the win
goals.
wasn't as big as we thought because of the injury to Mendy?
Yes, injury to Mendy and Aguero made the,
Because Mendy didn't even make the
Yes.
lineup.
But the thing is, Fulham play the kind of football where to hammer them heavily, you'd have to be very clinical. And the thing is, Man City were just interested. The way they played, they were more interested in the 3 points than really racking up the squad.
Are they
I think they are prepared for Champions
Are they trying to go on another run?
They should.
Because
go
last
another
season
run,
after
because
that draw against Everton is when they went on 16 straight wins?
for me, they should go on another run. But the thing is, it depends on who they meet in the run, because there are some few teams that in the run who are capable of taking.
But you see, between now and October 7th, okay,
because for me, between now and when they face Liverpool United, they don't have anyone who should get
That's
points.
October 7th. So between
So
now
for me,
and then, they don't
those
have
should be
anyone
straight
really.
wins. Those should be
They don't
straight
have.
wins.
They really don't
That's
have
the only
anyone to
reason
play.
why they want to beat some teams by 4+ is because they're preparing for Champions League, which I think they did this week. I think they eased off mainly because of Champions League.
Okay, and Arsenal winning 2-1 at Newcastle. That is 3 wins on the bounce for Unai Emery.
I would call it a professional win because I thought Arsenal were poor. I thought Newcastle were worse. But Arsenal, when the chances came, like the free kick, and when they had that short spell of dominance and Ozil scored the second goal, they deserved. But if Newcastle had been more serious, they take a draw from that game because they scored with a late header, but somebody missed, I think it was Yoselu, missed the same header with a similar cross. He instead headed it up instead of heading it down. Had he headed it down, that was a 2-2 draw. So Arsenal won't be complaining. They didn't play well, but they took points.
Okay.
From home at a ground that normally gives them headaches.
So what does this mean for Arsenal? They started poorly, 3 wins on the bounce. I don't care whether they played well or bad, or whether they played well or not, but so you need the momentum.
No, it gives them momentum and it keeps them in touch with people. I mean, they're only 6 points behind the guys on top.
And they're ahead of Man U.
Yes, and that's the thing. They're 6 points behind the guys on top, and that's what matters. Because those guys, a lot of them are still going to visit these guys. So that is a good thing for them. I mean, Chelsea are still going to visit them. Man City, I think, are going to. Is it Man City who played them, or Liverpool? Are still going to visit them. So that is puts them in a very good position. So
okay, Chelsea 4, Cardiff 1. Eden Hazard with the performance of the weekend.
Hazard was so good in that game, and the truth is Cardiff tried to lie to themselves by scoring fast, and then they were really taken to the
they made things worse.
They were taken to the cleaners because those guys really toyed with them. It was like an exhibition. It's just that they were not clinical, but it was an exhibition.
Hasn't Mauro Sarri handled Eden Hazard better than other managers who had World Cup players? Because he was just gradually integrating him into the team.
Yes.
10 minutes here, 15 minutes
he
here,
did,
10
he
here.
did the best thing, but the thing is he did what he was supposed to do. Because the thing
and
is,
both parties
he has
actually
the squad. Because the problem is a lot of the teams didn't have the squads, and so they were forced to bring people early back. For example, United, Pogba and Lukaku were literally, and Rashford were rushed back because Martial was supposed to have started the season as the main number 9. The guy says to go AWOL. United, all the midfielders decide to get injured, and Pogba is forced to come last minute into contention.
No, but the other.
Then when you come to Spurs, literally Spurs signed nobody. So all the guys who played in the latest
but the other
and that's
thing,
why even people like Dele Alli have broken down.
The other thing is most coaches, they have a guy that like Eden Hazard who needs to be benched. Instead of explaining to the player directly why he's being benched, they want to go and explain it to the press. And for most players, they constitute that as this guy is just thinking of. Because I think Mauro Sarri just had a talk with Eden Hazard.
No, I think he did both.
Better
because the
than,
thing is, any sensible manager does both. And that's why for me, I said it was Pep's fault that De Bruyne got injured. Because for me, when De Bruyne came back from World Cup, he should not have played for the first 3 weeks. He should not have really been playing. There was no point.
Yet Leroy Sané, who didn't go to the World Cup, was actually given extra time off.
And resting. I found it very annoying because for me, it made no sense. I mean, you have enough guys who clearly played in the later stages of the World Cup. None of those guys should be playing. You have a big enough squad. You have the Silvas, you have Mahrez, you have Sané. None of those guys should be playing. But then you play them, and I wasn't surprised if De Bruyne got injured. He played too much football last season. Played in World Cup, and you bring him back and
bring him back early.
So for me, Chelsea are benefiting because the manager did the right thing. He has the squad. He made sure all guys who played in later stages, he's not been using them. They've been coming off the bench, and it's working for him.
Okay, and Bournemouth 4-2 against Leicester. I saw someone saying Maguire being exposed as not a top defender. Or was it just a one-off?
Nah, it's just one of those things. Now I think maybe he was celebrating the fact he got a contract extension, because the truth is
5 years.
Leicester looked like they had been partying. Honestly, they looked like they had been partying the previous night because they were not recognizable. They've not played like that throughout this season in any game. They were just utterly horrible. First half. Second half, they were so much better. They even won second. You could say they won second half because Bournemouth only scored one in second half. So they won second half 2-1. Meaning had they played the way they played in second half, had they played like that throughout the whole game, they would not have been ashamed.
So what is it that made them play the way they did?
I don't know. They were just horrible. They were not at the races. They were like Man U against Brighton.
The thing I said about Leicester in the last podcast is that fighting spirit is gone. Sometimes they first wait to get punched before they wake up. There was a time where even when by the time they got punched, they would actually be already awake. This season, they've been more of a Leicester. You first hit them, then they're like, oh, we have a game
You first
to play.
give them a 1-2, then they
Yes.
realize that things are going for
exactly.
us. Because honestly, those 3 goals were horrible. They were just horrible. They were not at the races. Those are goals you concede maybe in training when you have not been serious. They were just horrible goals.
Or you concede
I couldn't even praise
in the last minute when you have a 4-0 lead.
Yes, because for me, I couldn't praise Bournemouth because it's not that Bournemouth played well. Leicester were just not at the
But
races.
Bournemouth are up to 5th, so they've been good.
They've
this
been
season.
doing,
So they've been taking their chances.
to win the match. It's not like Bournemouth was so good. Bournemouth just did that job and went with the 3 points.
Okay, and
They showed up and went with 3 points.
and the final game of Saturday, United shocking Watford.
Do you doubt?
Watford is
doubt that
100%
it was a shock?
record
Because the truth is,
Watford were the better
Man
team
U-
actually going into the game.
yeah, and the thing is, first half Man U was so dominant you could not believe. Then
Yeah.
second half Watford showed why
The
they were
real
top of the
Watford came
table.
back.
They showed why they were joint top of the table at some point. So they showed it.
But you remember last episode
And United
why
held
we
on.
said it would be hard to predict that game?
Yeah, I know it
Because
was.
you just couldn't know. United were looking to build momentum. Watford were.
Yeah.
And actually, in the first half, the United we fear to predict against is the one that appeared.
Yes.
Then in the second
They were
half,
excellent
the Watford
players.
we fear to predict against is the one that appeared.
Yes, and truth is, the benefit for Mourinho in this game is that Lindelof and Smalling look like they're beginning to build an understanding. I thought they were very good.
Want them to though.
I
Why?
thought they were very
Because I know
good.
at some point Smalling is going to let us down.
I don't mind if he lets us down. Because the thing is,
when we least want them to.
I don't know, because for me, over the last few years, for me, Smalling has been very reliable. About 1 or 2 games. And the thing is, the people who have annoyed me the most are the people who should be reliable throughout, like Bailey.
Yes.
There is no reason
know
why
what's
Bailey
happening,
did
right?
what he did against Brighton.
But-
And me,
But
what
Spanish
for me,
enough.
what
Aren't you saying
annoyed me,
something like-
what annoyed me in that game the most was the fact that unfortunately Lindelof got lumped with him, and Mourinho made the mistake of playing with Jones against Spurs, and costing some of us cash. In the process.
Isn't by
Because
responding
honestly-
to the thing of being dropped, and the reason he was given was, well, I want to give players who are going to the World Cup chance to play football.
But it's up to him, because the thing is, he started the season as a starting centre back. He was brilliant against Leicester. What on earth was he doing against Brighton? This was his chance to show this guy, never bench me again. But for you go and show that you're worse than Phil Jones. I mean, come on.
Or is the pressure getting to him?
What pressure?
Because there was a time where like
He's United's best defender.
Exactly, that's the point. There was a time where you were like, sure, if Eric Bailly is in that United defense, there's nothing you're going
Or
to do.
is he
against
another Tim Howard?
them. But baby, you never
These
know.
guys, when pressure comes, they fall to pieces.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because honestly, right now, it's his fault that he's on the bench, and he's going to stay there until he proves that he can take over from.
No, the only way he actually gets back
Because
into that
right
team
now
is if he
Lindelof is
fights.
proving a very good partnership with Smalling, and I don't expect it to be split unless it's by.
Yeah, I think his attitude is going to come in handy if he has the right
And
one.
I was actually, even though I'm sort of sad Rojo got injured, I'm kind of happy because it doesn't give Mourinho the opportunity to even attempt to bring Rojo in to separate this partnership.
Okay, the final game of the weekend, West Ham 3, Everton 0. West Ham their first win.
West Ham, the best
Yeah,
performance
Malenko
of
scoring
the season.
twice.
Yamalenko man of the match, along with Anatovic. West Ham simply finally played to the potential of their squad. Why Everton did the opposite. Everton simply didn't show up for that game. I don't know what was wrong with them. They just didn't turn up, and they were beaten black and blue as a result.
Okay,
was 3-0,
interesting.
honestly, first
Interesting
time
is
what I saw.
next weekend Old Trafford. It's Wolves who are visiting.
Yeah, and it will be a tough game. Because Wolves are
For
not
both
super
teams.
team. No, for Man U, not for Wolves. Wolves, it doesn't matter what they do. That is what they call a free hit in fantasy football. You can lose. If you lose, you're still good. If you win, you're better.
You're better. Okay, that's all time we had for. Join us on our social media platforms, Twitter and Facebook, Touchdown Online, as well as Telegram and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel.